Volume 1, Number 4. After listening to Vanessa Miller's discussion at the team meeting, Michael invites Vanessa to talk at lunch. They talk over lunch about what happened to Vanessa's marriage. So they go to a small internet cafe not very far from the Smithton Motors Automotive Company, and they discuss what happened. So Michael Smithton had a lot of questions about what happened to Vanessa's marriage. So they went on to discuss it. So Michael asked questions like, what happened, Vanessa? What happened to your marriage? Well, long story short, he was cheating on me, said Vanessa. And Vanessa didn't want to get into details about it because she said it hurt too much to talk about what happened. How long ago did this happen? Said Michael. About 6 months ago, I found out. So this has been going on for 6 months. Yeah. I filed for divorce. I didn't really get into all that at work, of course. You've been doing really well at work, though. You held your composure. You really held it together. You've done very well. You didn't even give the impression that anything was going on. Well, I had the house. I didn't lose my stability. If anything, he left, and it's better that way. I'm glad he's gone. Do you have any prospects for the future? Not really. I'm better off right now. I mean, now that the divorce is almost final, I'm better off being single than I am really planning on getting married. Do you have anybody in mind? Well, there is somebody I'm interested in, but right now I'm not really going down that road. Just then, Grace walks in with Marissa. Whoa, there's my wife. Grace walks in. She's shocked to see Michael with another woman. Of course, Grace gets the wrong impression. Grace, what's going on? Well, are you busy right now? No, I'm talking to one of my employees. She's going through a divorce. And I wanted to talk to her about what was going on. Marissa was questioning why Michael was with another woman too, but they finally calmed down after Michael explained that she was going through a divorce and he wanted to sit down and talk to her about what was going on. So Grace kind of was upset that he was with somebody else. She got the wrong impression about the whole situation. It didn't look right, is what it seemed to Grace and Marissa. So they were picking up a to go order. Well, Grace said to Michael, listen, Michael, we're not interrupting because we know you have a lunch hour and you need to get back to work. So we'll talk when we see you later. Marissa had to go anyway because she had to get back to Robert's jewelry store because she was working part time there to help him out. So Grace gave Michael a kiss on the cheek and left. Boy, that was awkward, said Michael. Yeah, that is. I didn't make, I hope I didn't make it awkward for you, Michael. Listen, if Grace is going to make something out of it, that's between me and her. We'll talk about it when I get home. I'm sorry, those situations are so awkward. Listen, I want to tell you about awkward. I found out my ex wife was with my partner. Before you came along, I had a partner. And one weekend, I was covering for him. And, like, you know how I work. I work whenever the shifts are available, I have to work it, right? I mean, it's my company too, right? Well, my partner's with my ex wife one weekend, and he slept with her. And I found them in bed together. Long story short of it, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it is that I never really truly felt the same about working. I worked those double shifts, and I finally got to the point where I had to take loans out to hire within, to hire people, to finally get investors to support me. Then I met Stephen Clark, and then I met Frank, which I think the Frank operation that we're running now is a lot better because it's a sister company. It's separate now. I'm not connected with that company end of it. It's like that's his company. Even though we're connected, we're not connected, you know. I can run my own company still. So I think it's working out a lot better than what was going on with Stephen Clark and the tragedy of Stephen Clark's death. The irony of that, I guess you could say that talking to you like a professional, knowing that you go through trials and tribulations and difficulties and things that happen to people, you know, in the course of everything. Marriages go through situations, they go through seasons, you know. Like, I don't know what the outcome is going to be out of this. Like, is my wife going to ask questions about my relationship with you? Like, I have a professional relationship with you, but there's personal things that are going on. Like, if you find somebody attractive at work and I ask you, like, who that next person is in line that you're interested in, well, you're going to tell me, right? Yeah, of course I would, said Vanessa. Who are you interested in? The security detail. Oh, really? Doesn't he have a girlfriend? I think he does. I don't know. I'll have to check and see. Let me see what his status is. I think that's the one. I know there's a security guard that is single. If it's the one I'm thinking about, he's just been hired. Is it the new guy? I think so. I think his name is Mike Roberts. If it's a new guy, he's single. I have to look and see. Let me look at my pamphlet of people that just got hired. I think it's Mike Roberts is single. If it's him, he's newly. I'm looking. Just give me 1 second. He's over in building 2. Yeah, he's single. He's your age too. Yeah. He's in building number 2. Is that the one you're talking about? Yep, that's the one I'm talking about. Well, listen, I could set you up. You want me to set you up? Yeah, could you? You need to get out, Vanessa. Besides, he's a good looking man. He's attractive, he's single, no children. Let's make it happen. So they go over to building number 2 and they just start chit chatting. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How's everything? Well, we're doing pretty good. I want to introduce you to Vanessa Miller. Vanessa Miller, this is Mike Roberts. He's security detail. Um, I usually don't play matchmaker like this, but I was just wanting to introduce both of you because you're both single. Oh, really? She's going through the last part of her divorce. And I wanted to introduce you because you're both single, said Mike Smithton. Oh, really? So, when's your divorce final? Next week. Vanessa Miller's nervous as can be. Listen, I know you're about 34 years old. Yeah, well, I just turned 34 last week. Oh, really? Said Vanessa. You didn't have a birthday party or anything, did you? No, I didn't have a birthday party. I'm single, you know. I mean, I'm a security detail here. As Beverly's overseeing what's going on, and so is Kimberly Lee. They're checking out the whole situation, and they're wondering what's going on. Interesting. Is it okay if I get your number, said Mike Roberts to Vanessa Miller. Yeah, that would be okay. Do you want to go out to dinner or something like that, said Mike Roberts. Oh, I'd love it. How about let's celebrate when you get divorced and we'll go out after that. That would be wonderful, said Vanessa Miller. I work in building number 1, said Vanessa Miller. So if you're trying to ever get a hold of me, I'm at building number 1. Well, you know where I'm at. I'm right here at building number 2. That's great. So Vanessa Miller writes down her phone number. Listen, we're going to celebrate your divorce. We'll go out to dinner somewhere nice, okay? Said Mike Roberts. Sounds like a plan. Mike Smithton successfully sets him up on a date. And as Beverly Schuster is watching this whole thing go down, and Kimberly Lee, they clap for Mike Roberts. Look, you got a date, finally. A good girl, too. Congratulations. As they go back to the office, Vanessa Miller is on sky high. She's so excited. She's got a real date with a good looking man who's not only fit and trim, but he's a security detail. This is a nice catch, said Vanessa Miller to Mike Smithton. Thank you so much. Listen, no problem. I love playing matchmaker, but it was awkward, I have to admit, said Mike Smithton. Listen, I gotta get home and catch up with my wife because I don't want her to get the wrong impression. Do you want me to write a letter to her? No, I got this. So Mike Smithton gets back home and he knows he's going to have 20 questions from his wife. So he's prepared to deal with whatever comes his way. And his wife is obviously wanting to ask a lot of questions. As he pulls in the driveway, he sees his wife wondering what's going on. So, what was going on at lunch? Well, listen, here's the situation. Vanessa Miller was going through a divorce. It is still going through a divorce. Her divorce will be final next week. And I didn't know about it. And I just promoted her. And she told her story to us at a team meeting. And I wanted to take her aside and ask her how we could help her. So long story short, I kind of played matchmaker and I matched her up with Mike Roberts, the security detail. So they have a date next week after her divorce is final. And long story short, I played matchmaker. Oh, you did, said Grace. Oh, I'm so glad. You did? You did that, really? Yeah, it was awkward, I admit, but I kind of put myself out there. But we got a standing ovation from the receptionist. It was kind of strange, let me tell you. But she's got a date with this security detail at building number 2 next week after her divorce is final. So it's all good, Grace. It was awkward, I admit. You walking in like that and just looking all strange at me, and you know how those things are. They just are strange situations to be put in. But I wanted to know how to help her, and she went to her parents' house over the weekend in Atlanta, and she didn't tell me why she was in Atlanta. She kind of gave me the whole story. She kind of gave me the whole rundown about what was going on and how he cheated on her, and her husband cheated on her and left her, and it's a tragedy, but I kind of shared my experiences with what happened to me, and it was like kind of like therapeutic in a way. I kind of needed to share my story from the benefit of sharing it, but at the same time, I feel like I helped her and also helped me, in a way. You know what I mean, Grace? Like sometimes we have to share our experiences. Like, how you share your experiences, and it's like when you're helping yourself, when you're helping somebody, you're also helping yourself kind of thing. It's kind of like that. Well, honey, I'm so grateful you played matchmaker because that's hard to do. That's awkward in itself. Well, Grace, I have to admit, like this is not my easy. That's not easy to do that. It's really like brazen. Well, listen, I know we have plans to have hamburgers and french fries tonight. So grandma and grandpa decided to help us out tonight. So the sandwiches are already made. The kids are already sitting down. So why don't you just come on over and sit down with us? As the kids were already sitting having hamburgers and french fries, Mike had stayed a little later from work that night to help out Vanessa. Daddy, said Melissa, you gonna have french fries with us? Yes, I am, Vanessa Miller. Yes, I am. Daddy, I missed you so much, said Bailey. It's good to see you kids. I'm sorry I came home late from work. I had a lot of stuff going on at work today. I really missed you so much, said Jenny. Oh, I know. Miss Yokoshodo said, Oh, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. I know. After being sick for a week, it's kind of hard to get used to getting back into the swing of things. Talking about getting the swing of things, are we going to go on that golf outing this Saturday? Said Dad. Yeah, we are, Dad. Are you going to go? Yeah, absolutely. As they were finishing up dinner, it was getting late and they all had homework to do, so they went upstairs to get their homework done and they had to wash up and clean up. By the time the night was over, they were all cleaned up and washed up and ready for bed. They all got a kiss goodnight from Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpap and Grandma Yokoshoda, and it was time to get some sleep. Everybody went to sleep that night and slept very well. By the next day, everybody was off to school, getting to their respective locations, and of course, Mike decided to stay back before the Thursday report. Thursday report was a big deal because Vanessa was really officially now in charge of getting things done by herself, at least for the most part. But Michael said he was still going to oversee the Thursday report, even though she was officially the director of operations. So he hung back for a little bit and hung back at the back of the office as she was doing most of the directing. So, Michael, you're taking a lesser role as time goes on. Yeah, I'm not here as much, but I am here just to help Julie for the time being. So, Thursday's report was done by Harrison and it went very well. So, Michael stopped in and said, How's everything going, Vanessa? Everything's going really well. How's everything going, Cindy? Going very well. It's nice to see you, Michael. And Harrison was excited to see Michael as well. Now that you're not here as much, it's harder to get used to, but it's also been very good with Vanessa. Vanessa's been running the meetings very well. By the time it came to the divorce finalized, Vanessa got a phone call from her attorney. Your divorce paperwork has just been settled. Everything's all ready to go. Vanessa was so excited. And she called Michael Smithton. Michael, my divorce is settled. Everything's great. It's all a go. She got her paperwork in the mail. It was all signed, dated, and also notarized by the courts. I guess you can go on that date now. Yeah, I'm going to go celebrate. I'm going to call Mike Roberts right now. She calls Mike Roberts to tell him the good news. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? Oh, good. I'm doing great. Well, my divorce is officially finalized. Oh, wow. That's great news. So when are we going to go on that date? Well, whenever you're ready, Mike. I'd be so interested in getting to know you better. Well, let's make a night out of it. I would love that. That would be so great. So when are you plan on doing that? Well, it's Thursday now. What do you think about Saturday? Saturday would be great. I would love to go out on a date with you, Mike. Well, Saturday it is. I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock. Can you give me your information and address? Yeah, I'll see you at work tomorrow and I'll meet up with you on Friday. And I'll give you all the pertinent information. Okay, I'll see you there. I'm in building number 2. Don't forget. Okay, sounds good. So by the time everything wrapped up for Thursday night, she met up with Mike at building number 2 and she gave him her address and he said that he would meet up with her Saturday night at 7 o'clock. And everything was really great. By the time she ran into Mike Smithton, she told Mike that she had a date with Mike Roberts Saturday night. Mike Smithton said to her, Wow, this is really going to happen. You're really going on a date? Yep, this is really going to happen. So I owe you a lot of credit for this. Thank you so much for playing matchmaker. I really don't know what to say. I'm so nervous and excited about this date. Listen, you just be yourself and be your successful, warm, and wonderful self. You'll do great. I can't wait. I can't wait to go on this date.